New Rosarian Collection, and um, I really love this line. It's full of color, but it still has kind of a vintage vibe to it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the papers. I don't have a lot of the embellishments that go with the collection. I don't have a lot of the flowers, but I am going to show you other flowers Prima's coming out with that would go great with the collection. So first, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you this one. We're going to make a little mini album or like a little brag book afterwards with this page. And this is chambered, yeah, okay. This is the first sheet. You can see that you have a lot of different little journaling spots on here. I do not know who designed this line. This, I have a feeling, is an in-house line. We have a lot of designers in-house that work on paper lines as well. So this is kind of an in-house line. And then the opposite side, you have this really pretty teal color, and it has a nice little border up top. You can kind of see the roses up there. I really like the design in it. This next one is Old Garden. This one's really fun. It's got a doilies and a pretty pink background. And then some roses that are red and green and blue. Really fun color combination, different color combination. And this one's just a plain kind of textured looking teal color. The next one is Alba. This is really cool to cut out and use as borders. The colors are really kind of muted, but make sure you go online and look up the blog. We've had this up already. We'll have it up again this week, and you'll see the true colors on the blog posts. This one has a really pink background with a small, tiny teal polka dot. Let me see if I can get it to show up on the camera. Come on. It's not going to on your guys' end. But it has a really cool polka dot background on that. This one I really like. It's called Rambler. And on this side it has a really soft black background with a nice filigree type lace design, and then your doilies and your roses all the way around. Bring it back a little bit. You see that one? And then the back of this one has its pink background with small white little doilies. You kind of bring it up close so you can see the detail in that. It's fun. I love these. This one is Constance. This is really pretty. This reminds me of like early 40s, like 40s design. This whole line kind of reminds me of that vintage vibe feel to it. That one, and then the back's got a pink background with a kind of a wallpaper design to it. It's really pretty. That one, and that again was Constance. Then we have Bosella, and this has got tags and letters and everything on the front of that. And then the back's like a soft black again with like a brown polka dot distressed background. And then we also have, that one again was Bosella. And then Darby. This one's really fun. I like this one. You have a lot of different patterns and backgrounds to play with. You can cut these out and use them on 6x6 pages. And then on the back, I really like this side. It has a neutral colored background with the black lace filigree type design. Oh, come on. Hold on, guys. We lost just a second. There we go. So we have this one as well. This is Prima paper. Of course it's Prima paper. This is the Rosarian collection for this one, this CHA. It's called Rosarian. And this is all Prima's papers. Prima's papers are 90 weight, so it's a really heavy duty, thick paper. And then also, this is the last one I'm going to show you is Felicity. For some reason, that last page didn't like the camera, so I'm going to move on. This one has a nice borders you could use on it. Nice large roses to fussy cut out for those of you who like to fussy cut. I like the gig'em type design at the bottom. It's really fun. And then on the back you have a ledger or lined type page with some more of the roses and doily pattern on it. So those are our pages. I'm going to go ahead and point the camera down to show you the embellishments, get a little better view. Again, we've already showcased the line on our blog, so make sure you go back and look those up. But we'll be doing it again this week to kind of give you another overview of all the what's involved, and then we'll also, of course, have our design team with beautiful samples showing you how to use them and incorporate them into your project. So let me point the camera down real quick. Okay. All right. So in every line, this CHA, I'm going to move these papers. Every line of CHA, they've come out, Prima has come out with a new one, a new little embellishment to include with our papers are these cute little wood clips, the clothespins, and each one is designed to match the paper lines. And these are so cute. These would be fun to make just little stand-up decor pieces on a desk, or using them on a mixed media album as a closure. You can even include them to kind of, if you plan on framing a scrapbook page, you can use them to hang off pictures actually on your page. It's just a different way to display your photos on the page. These are really cute, and there's 6 per pack. So these ones, see if I can get a better view to the camera. They're just basically our paper designs kind of shrunk down a little bit. So we have those. We also have, of course, the crystals. Here are a few for this line. We have more of a border. The light's kind of reflecting off of it, but you have a border that's got 2, like a pale pink and then a brighter pink design in it. And then we have 2 of the swirls. There's 3 different ones in each collection this time. Here are 2 of them. There's one that's smaller that has a smaller design for each one. We also have the wood buttons again. These are really fun. I like these for cards and smaller projects. They lay flat, so you don't have to worry about shipping them. And they come in different sizes and shapes, so it adds a really nice accent to your project. Okay. And then in our tickets, or our wood tickets this time, have been paired with the wood clocks. And the wood clocks last CHA sold out so quickly, Prima decided to include them in their wood embellishments. So I really like these ones, and you can see there's a bunch of different themes you can go with in this paper line. Do they have one for date night, friends? Let's see. The other 2 are just plain designs, but there's a lot involved in this paper line. That's kind of why I like it. It's got a girly feel, but it's vintage, and you can add and use some of your B-side pages for boys' pages and more masculine pages as well. So either way, you can use it for feminine or masculine. Now here are some of the stamp sets. I have been using these, so I do apologize they're not in the package. This is their rubber stamp set. I am, there's one that got up and walked away. It's like a doily type design, but I wanted to show you the stamps. You have a nice little cute ruler. And then you have two that look kind of like a lace border. Those ones. And then we have the word happy, which I really like them including a word at least in there you can use for a board or a title or part of your journaling and things like that, or a card sentiment. And then here are three like swirls and flowers. And again, there's also a kind of like a doily type stamp as well that is included in this set. These are the rubber cling stamps. And then here are the two clear stamp sets that match the line. Some are clear stamp people, some are cling stamp people. So we love to include both styles to help to make everybody happy, of course. So we have those as well. Now oh, let me show you these. Now in each line, I'm not sure if anybody's shown you these yet, but in each line this time, Prima's included a set of leaves that match each paper line, and they match the papers, but they also have plain colored leaves as well. And of course, if you want more of one color, you can always alter these to match your project. So I like that they included ones that did match the paper line, and they also gave you solid colors and in different sizes. So you basically have, I think, 3 or 4 different sizes that come in each collection. So you can use these on large projects all the way down to cards. So they have put a nice variety in there. So these are the leaves. I'm not sure what the count is on these. I would have to look. Okay. You get a lot, that's for sure. Now, for extra embellishments Prima is coming out with, I want to show you some flowers I think would match really well with this paper line. And I'm going to have to check while I have you on here and make sure that I get the names correct. But the first ones I wanted to show you, here's 2 different colored schemes. But these are called Belconte. And these are like a fabric type flower. They look so realistic, and they have a lot of different layers. They have the floral centers in the middle. And I really like the size. They're a medium size, but you could push them down. And what's nice is even if you flatten them down, they'll still hold a shape to them. So these will work great. And there's a lot of different colors in these. There's, let me see, 9 different colors in this floral style. So you have a wide variety of colors to match all of the paper lines. And I'm going to use one of these on our little project in a little bit. So these, I really like these. These are some of my favorite. Really pretty. And next what we have, let's see. I want to make sure I get them all right. The next ones I have, oh man, hold on guys. Oh, I lost my page. While it's coming up, let me show you one of Donna Downey's new flowers. That would go cute with this line as well. Here's some little felt flowers new to her line. These, she has 2 different, I believe, color schemes in these. This color and then a teal, green, and white as well. So they come 3 to a pack. And they're multi-layered, and they're really fun because, like the other fabric flowers, they won't completely flatten down and distort if you put them into an album or something in that nature. So they have a lot of depth, and they're very bright and colorful. I really like that. Someone had made the comment they don't like the bulky embellishments because they make their pages in books bulky. I've come to the point where I end up displaying a lot of my pages in frames. I feel that people actually get to see them more often. It's just an idea. They're displayed so people can enjoy them every day instead of waiting until the book's brought out. It's another idea just to display your projects. My kids like seeing them up on the wall, and they like to see how much they've grown. My daughter loves it when she could look at her baby pictures and see how quickly 9 years have passed by. Makes me cry once in a while, but she likes it. Now, those were Donna's poppy flowers. The next ones I'm going to show you, these are a little flatter. Cabaletta. These are Cabaletta flowers. And these are fabric again. These aren't quite as bulky. They're a little flatter, and they are fabric as well, with a small pearl center in the middle. Of course, it's a center in the middle. But you can see there that there's a lot of different colors. This is just one color scheme. There's more of the muted colors. There's also a black, gray, and white set. We have more of like the rich, dark colors like the wine, mustard, those colors. We have real pale baby pink, blue, and then we have two brighter color schemes as well. So there's one to match every paper line, or that would coordinate with every paper line. So that is, again, the Cabaletta. I apologize if I'm not saying these correctly. Okay. The next ones, let's see. These next ones are called Encores, and I have two different colors. They have, there's 5 different colors in all, and these are smaller flower. And these are really cute to add accents to your page, or they're flat enough to work, or small enough you could use on a card or trading card, artist trading card. They're like a little, almost, they remind me of a small carnation almost, with the way they're kind of folded. And here's the pink ones. I apologize, these are all samples. They don't have the pretty packaging. So those are the Encores. And then one other flower set I'm going to show you are, let's see, Interlude. I'm going to show you these ones. And these are a frosted rose. They come in, as you can see, different colors, variation of color. And they're also frosted, and they're really nice size. They're not too large, but they also have the smaller ones if you need them as well. So these are one of my favorite releases. They're kind of a nice staple flower to have. You can never have too many roses, right? We should tell our husbands that. Hint, hint. Okay, a couple little embellishments I wanted to show you. New embellishments that we have. These little trinkets. They're little dice with beads off of them. There's 4 colors here. I believe there's a couple more. There's like a white or a black. Aren't these cute? These would be cute to hang off the side of a little mini album. Put them on a scrapbook page. You can even make jewelry, altered jewelry with these. These are fun little pieces. And then I believe Drew showed you these, but I wanted to show you these little felt beads. Each line has one that has a color coordinated with each line. This line comes with a nice pretty teal blue color. Yeah, these are the baubles. Oop. And they have two little plastic beads. And a little technique I used is I cut the beads off and I kept the little metal hook at the bottom, and I added another little like jump ring, and I added a tile, an art tile onto the bottom. I'd show it to you, but it's at CHA right now, so you can play and mess with these. You can make jewelry pieces. You can make a bunch of different projects with these little cutesies. So I've kind of gone over a few of the new items that would work well with our Rosarian collection. Now I'm going to show you a fun little brag book to use. And what we're going to need, I'm going to take a few. Oh, I'm going to show you one more thing. And we're going to use this in the project. Let me find it. It is one of Prima's new masks. And if you guys like feathers and peacocks, this is going to be one of your favorites. And this is a nice little peacock mask, peacock feather mask. Let's find a plain background. And we're going to use this, and I'm going to show you a dry embossing technique on our little book in just a second. So let me pull the pages we're going to use. We're going to use the one that had the little tags or journal spots on it. So we're going to use this one. And then what color would you guys like the solid actual book piece? Teal or pink? All right. So what we will need is I'm going to use the largest piece I'm going to use is this square piece. So I have this one, these two, and then these three I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and measure the size of this little journal spot. So it's 4 inches by about 3 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut out a template, or actually the book cover. And I've done something similar on a larger size for a mini album. And what it's going to be like is almost a matchbook type closure. So we have 4 inches, and what we're actually, let's see, we'll do the 3 1/4. So 8, 9. We have 3 1/4 this way. I want to add at least a little movement so that it has room to open and close. So since this is 3 1/4, you're going to need a front and a back, and then a binding for it. So I want at least about a 1/2 inch over this. So I'm going to make, I'll show you. Let me cut it out and I'll show you what I'm talking about real fast. This is kind of on a spur of the moment project to see how well we do impromptu. See if we're worth our mustard. Okay. Put that aside. I'm going to cut my cards out real quick. Alrighty. Thank you for everyone who stays up late to watch our shows and gets up early to watch our shows. I know sometimes it could be hard to get connected and start so early or late in the day, and we really appreciate you joining us. I'm just cutting these little tags out. Cutting down the sides a little bit. Okay. This is a tonic paper trimmer. It has fold out rulers, so if you need more... why aren't you coming out? So you have a wider measuring surface. I really find that I get a really straight cut with this. I never have any problems or issues. Let me cut out these two. One more, I promise. Okay. Now here is going to be our outer surface for our little brag book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up this piece that I cut, because I want to go ahead and put a piece of chipboard between them to kind of give them a little structure. And we cut this at 4.5 inches wide by, let's check, I believe it's 12 inches, but let me just double check. Yes, it's 12 inches. You probably won't need it quite that large. Let's just keep it at that for now. So I'm going to take my little piece of white chipboard. It's just thin, like thin, really thin cardboard type paper. And cut it at 4. How did I do that? That's 4. Okay. It's because I cut it at 4.5. I don't know how to measure. If you've seen my show before, you'll notice that I don't do a lot of measuring, and it's because of this one purpose. So this is 4.5. 4.5. So if you want to recreate this little brag book, you're going to want 3 pieces, 4.5, as of now 12. So you're going to want your center and then your 2 outside pieces. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my glue. And go ahead and glue this down. You want to make sure that you get the entire piece covered with adhesive. Come on. Kind of run some down the center so when we fold this up, it's nice and secure into the seams. I'm using Beacon's fabric tack. So I'm going to go ahead and just smooth this out. If I have a little hangover, not to worry. Okay. Now before I go ahead and I glue this piece down, I'm going to go ahead and take our screen, and just at the end, at one end, which will be our front when we're done, I'm going to go ahead and lay my paper down on top of my mask. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find an embossing tool, or you can use like a rub-on tool, anything with a fine tip. And then you're going to go ahead and kind of just find where your pattern starts and go ahead and rub in your paper into the recessed image of your mask. And you'll kind of feel around. Once you start rubbing across the page, you'll start finding where the actual image is of the screen. Let me find a little finer tip. This isn't quite getting into all the nooks and crannies. This will have to do. Kind of lift it up. See where your reference is. I don't know if a light box will help with this thick of a paper. If you do have a thinner paper, a light box would definitely work really well. Prima's paper is pretty heavy, so I'm not sure if a light would shine through it very effectively. But a light box is definitely, if you do a lot of dry embossing or you want to get into dry embossing, a light box is a really good tool to have. I have one, but it'd probably blind you guys if I put it in front of the camera. Okay. Just going to do a couple more little spots just to give you an idea of the technique I'm doing. Okay, let's see. So you can see where I've done my dry embossing. You can see that right there. Now if I took the time, I could go ahead and do the entire design. Now this one has a lot of small areas in it, so I would suggest finding a very sharp, or not sharp, pointed, you don't want it sharp because it'll pierce your paper, a pointed embossing tool to get into all those nooks and crannies. Let me show you another embossing, or another screen that's coming out the CHA. Let's see, let's use the polka dot one, I guess. This is one of Donna Downey's new screens. And we're just going to run a couple little polka dots just to add a little more texture. Okay, so I added a couple little polka dots, you can see right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our little distressing tool, Prima's distressing tool, and I'm going to slightly just rough it up a little bit. And this paper it has a white core to it. So it's going to reveal your embossed image. So you could do that all the way across your page if you wanted to. Since we're limited on time, I just wanted to show you that technique. This is Prima's pattern paper. So Prima's pattern paper is a white core paper. So any type of white core cardstock or pattern paper, you can do this technique on. Now you could also use inks if you don't have a distressing tool. Now this is a new color, Prima's chalk inks, the fluid chalk inks. This is in white. I love this color. I've been playing with it earlier. You could also take this over the edge of your embossed area as well. You could take this over the edges of your page. See how this is the back. This is the front of the paper. This is what's going to be visible when we put it onto the little mini album. So yes, this is a new white chalk ink. This is the only new color that's coming out the CHA is the white. And of course, There's a lot of colors already in the line. I'm going to go ahead and take my chalk ink around the edge. This is it has an opaque type finish, so once it dries, it's basically going to dry the exact color as it looks when you put it onto your paper. Now let me go ahead and glue this on. Okay, come on. Now with this cardstock, with the Prima paper being so heavy, you don't have to worry about when you're gluing down your paper that your embossed image will flatten out. It's going to hold the shape pretty well because of how heavy the cardstock is. Okay, press that down. Just like that. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and take your embossing tool and emboss the edges. I'm going to keep this pretty clean. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and score the lines of where I want the folds in my album. Now I know I want to have a little fold over. So I'm going to go ahead and this is my largest piece. And I'm going to go ahead and measure out where I want my score lines. Let's see. 12 inches. So here's our center line. I'm going to do, let's see, a half an inch. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to measure. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece off of here. And again, I apologize, I am kind of doing this on a whim. So I'm cutting an inch off of our length, so it's going to end up being an 11 inches long. Okay, so we have our 4.5 by 11 inches, and I have my first score line at 4.5. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my cut mat or my paper trimmer and using it as my edge. And then I'm going to go another inch. Wait, half an inch. Let's see. We're going to go a half an inch. You can always make this a little bigger dimension depending on how many pages. This is just going to be a little book you put in your purse or give a grandparent or family member with a few pictures in it. So here we have our book inside right now. And then what we're going to do is we have one more fold at 1.5 inches. Let's see. Actually, okay. My glue's not all the way dry. That's okay, I'm going to disguise it anyways, so. Okay. So you have your little box or your little envelope, just like this. This is recorded. This is being recorded. I made sure I hit that snarky little button. Okay, so you have your little fold. So your first fold's going to be at 4.5. Then you're going to have a 1/2 inch for your spine. And then another 4.5. And then what you're going to have is, I want to make sure I have your measurements right for you guys. So let's just pause a moment. Yep, you're going to have 4.5, a 1/2 inch, 4.5, and then your last piece is going to be about 1.5 inches. And this is going to be your little closure once we're done with the little album. So you have that. Okay. Next what we're going to do, the inside's very simple. I didn't make this too technical. All I'm going to do is kind of just stagger the sizes. Put a couple like this. Oh, we can't do that. Let's see if they fit this way. Woohoo! They do, people. I love when happy accidents happen. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of stagger these, all different sizes, shapes. You can put little photos on here, little journal spots, notes to yourself. And I'm going to go ahead and just punch one hole in all of these. You can do 2 if you like, but because these are so small, I want to make sure that I don't make too big of holes. Let's see. I'm going to grab my big bite. Let's go ahead and make 2 just to be safe. So you just kind of line up your cards the way you'd like them. There aren't many in here, so you should be able to punch all of the holes at once. So I'm just going to run those right in. Kind of eyeball it. Okay. So we punched all of our holes without having to measure. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay our papers in here just real quickly in the center of our book. Make a little mark. Let's make sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and punch these in our book. Okay. Let's find some nice little string. I have some of this cord from Canvas Corp. I'm just going to use this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my thread through. I'm going to run them through all of my pages. Hold on. Make sure I have all my holes lined up. Make it easier to thread through. I'm just lining up through to the top. This is easy peasy. I just wanted to show you a quick little project. So you have these two, then you're going to stick it back through the same hole. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Maybe. Getting ready for my sister's wedding and all of my stuff goes and disappears. Okay. I have mine sticking up out of the top. I'm going to add little tabs to each page so they kind of stand out. You can put them so they're lower if you'd like. And I'm just going to tie little knots in each one. This is, let's see, it's waxed cord by Canvas Corp. It's just black woven cord. It's their, let's see, it doesn't have a size, but it's 45 feet of their black wax cord. Okay. So here's your little book. Now, I have this rough edge on my opening that I want to go ahead and disguise. And here's our distressed portion. Again, like I said, you can go ahead and do the entire cover this way. But I'm going to go ahead and disguise my little edge. Now, I went ahead and cut off this 1-inch piece. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and distress it. Okay. I'm going to just put a thin layer at the edge of my album of adhesive. You want to make sure that it's going to be a strong adhesive. The Fabric Tack or the Helmar 450, those two are pretty good. You'll have a hard time getting anything off of those. And I'm just going to kind of overlap it. Okay. I got a little glue on my other page, but this kind of peels off, kind of rolls off the project. So I added my little disguise, just like that. Now, the way I'm going to make my little closure is, where are my buttons? I have these cool little buttons. I'm going to go ahead and take two that are about the same size. You can do one that's small, one that's large. You don't have to sew on these. All you'll need are 3-dimensional squares, 3-dimensional foam squares. And I'm just going to pop these up. Just like this. And then you're going to do one on the actual cover as well. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of our little jute You can use lace or ribbon, anything you have on hand. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go around the black one. Just twist it once. And then go ahead and go around the small one. And then you can go back. I have a little long piece, but I can cut a little bit of this off. And there you have a nice little closure. Make sure that your adhesive has dried or set first. I didn't let these set. These will hold it, I promise. All you do is you take it around the large piece and then the small. This jute's a little thick, but this is the idea. Just like that. You could also, if you want to use a heavier material, just double up your square dots or your foam dots. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to them just to give them a little more strength. This one kind of pulled up, so give me a sec. Put that down. That way you have a little more room for your string. So there's that little closure. So you have your cute little, just little fold outs. You can put photos. You can write little notes to yourself. Just a little notepad. And then I'm going to add a couple of our pretty flowers. You could also, if you didn't want to do the buttons, you could use one of our little closures and it'd keep it closed perfectly as well. All right. Now let's find some flowers. Who doesn't like flowers? I'm going to add one of our little pieces, our jeweled pieces. Now, this pink to me is a little bright, but you can alter these. If they're just a little bold for your taste, you can take, I'm going to take the white ink, but you could also take gesso or another opaque type paint and just go right over the top of these. And you can see the difference already between the bright gems and where I'd taken the ink to. So you can see the difference. Okay. All right. So I went ahead and I kind of doled them down a little bit. It will take a bit for this to dry on the crystals. Not long, but it will take a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and very gently pull these off of the backing. I'm not getting too mixed media on you girls tonight. I just want to kind of show you some ideas with the product. So there's that. Let's go ahead and find a couple flowers. Let's see. Let's do this pink one. Use this one. Just like that. And we'll go ahead and I'm not going to hang this from anywhere. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it flat onto the cover, kind of peeking out from my flower. I'm trying to use products that if they get kind of banged around and stuff, if you have this in a purse or a bag, it won't distort the flowers very much. So I'm kind of choosing items that can be, I guess, jostled a little bit. Let's see. I want to do some small flowers. Let's do this teal one. Hold on, girls. And then another one. Do you have any questions while I'm kind of fiddling around with the cover? That is a good idea. You guys are great. There you go. Let me tie my little jute or my, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot with this around the big one so it stays in place. Then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. So you just have a fun, quick little book to you can give to a family member or put in a bag. And then again, I showed you kind of a cool dry emboss technique that you can use with Prima's masks. If you're not into, ooh, excuse me, if you're not into the wet mediums and the sprays and inks, you could still use Prima's masks with your dry products as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about the impromptu class, but I couldn't make a sample and show it to you because we are limited with the new product. And we just wanted to show you the new lines, the new paper lines. You get to see me again. Again, Thursday night, Janine, I believe, will be here to show you another great new line we have coming out. And you can look through our past videos if you haven't already. I know Marion's shown her romance novel line. Drew showed Welcome to Paris the other night. And I believe Jen has shown Zephyr, I believe. We'll check back. If you missed part of the class, we will have it is recorded. We will go ahead and post it on Live with Prima's page, and you can go back in and take a look at it. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Make sure to check back in the next couple of weeks. We will have more new peaks of the new collections, and then starting next month, of course, we'll be back to our regular classes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If it's your first time coming on tonight, thank you. And if you guys have been on, of course, thank you for coming back and enjoying with us and chatting with us. That's part of the fun. And I hope you guys have a great evening. If you could, go ahead and pick a winner, Christina. And I'll go ahead and send that off. We'll have a winner for tonight. And you guys will get somebody will get a nice set of goodies. Once we have the winner chosen, you'll notice a private message below the chat. Go ahead and check that in, and we'll get you guys your gift. Thank you.